Anderson. I'm one of the original founders and the head of sales for a company called Kenect, and I'll get into that here in a second. But I wanted to start by saying something about Bob and the Bob Clemens crew. For those of you that were just here, we've worked with Bob and Sarah and Jeff and Hannah for a long time now. And if there's anything that I can tell you, if you do not work with them directly, today is the day that I would go and work that out. It will be the best choice you make here at the show, and the best thing you can possibly do for your business. They take great care of their dealers, and I have seen nothing but great things from the stuff that they teach. I was just telling Bob, I came up here, a lot of what he was teaching is the same stuff we teach our sales team. We sell software, not lawnmowers, but the principles apply. And that was some great stuff, some great principles, and I would strongly encourage you to go and start working with them if you aren't already. Let me tell you a little bit about Kenect. So we're based in what are called the Silicon Slopes of Utah. You maybe don't know that Utah has become a major technology hub and is sort of second to San Francisco at this point when it comes to technology companies. We work with over 4,000 dealerships across the U.S. and Canada, and the core of our platform is text messaging. Now, that can mean a lot of different things, but and that's what we're going to kind of get into today, is a lot of different ways that you can use texting. But the core of our platform is to help you communicate more efficiently, generate leads, collect payments, drive online reviews. One of the fun things that I'll share, because this just recently happened, we were named one of the fastest growing companies in America, number 25 fastest growing software company in America, number 216 of any company. So we're a fast growing company, and we're built for dealers and work with dealers. So I hope that's something you can take a little pride in, is that a company that works with you is one of the fastest growing companies in America at this point. So let me tell you a little bit about me. You're probably wondering, what has this got to do with dealerships and lawnmowers in Louisville, Kentucky? But I started my professional career in television. Okay, so I worked for NBC for several years. I speak Mandarin Chinese, and I went and lived in Beijing for the 2008 Olympics for a long time. Had some amazing stories, some great experience there. Then I went and lived in New York and worked for NBC Universal on shows like, it was Late Night with Jimmy Fallon at the time. It wasn't quite the Tonight Show. That was during the Conan O'Brien, Jay Leno mess that happened there for about a year, if you guys remember that. So I was right on the front lines of when that was going on. Worked on Saturday Night Live, the Today Show, the Super Bowl, all sorts of stuff like that. I'm going to save my Matt Lauer stories. If you want to come by the booth, I'll share those personally. Some of you probably, I can tell from some laughs, some of you know what I'm talking about, some of you don't, that's okay. But an interesting and a unique time to be in the television world, and it relates greatly to what we're going to talk about today, and here's why. In television, the whole purpose of what you're doing is to get eyeballs on the screen, right? You've got to get attention, you've got to be at the forefront. If we're not interested, I'm going to Netflix. If I'm not interested in your show, if I'm not interested in your news, if I'm not interested in whatever you're running, I'm going to go somewhere else, because guess what? I have a lot of options. So you constantly have to be tweaking and fixing, and hey, let's make this a little bit bigger, and this a little bit better, and let's change this, and let's have this person in charge of this, and it's a constant, the competition is as fierce and as tight and as tough as anything you're going to find. So because of that, they are always looking for the next best thing, the next smart thing, the next good thing that's going to get your attention. Now, this relates to the dealership world, because sometimes you guys want to do the opposite of that. And what I mean by that is, we tend to gravitate to, oh, this worked for my dad, when we started the dealership. This worked for my uncle. This worked for us in the 90s. This worked for us 10 years ago. And we don't want to let go of those things that worked before. And that's okay. That doesn't mean that we should completely forget those things. But what it does mean is sometimes we're missing out on some great opportunities that are coming down the road, because we're trying to hold on to, what worked in the good old days. Unfortunately, it's not the good old days anymore. It's 2021, and the digital world is infiltrating the dealership space, right? And there's more and more digital that we've got to be able to do. So I'm going to talk about a lot of that today, a lot of different things that we can do to become a digital dealer. 6 specific things that we can work on. And let me just cover this here really quick. So more people are buying stuff remotely and digitally. Google and Amazon, for better or worse, have trained us that simple and convenient is the process that we want. That's the experience that we want. Okay? Consumers have been sitting on Zoom meetings for the last 18 months learning how to do business without leaving their home. Your customer is getting younger as well, right? The buying behavior of a younger generation, a Gen Z and a millennial, buys different than a baby boomer. Do you know how to accommodate them? Do you know how to work with them? Do you know how to sell to them? Do you know how to talk to them? Faster buying cycles. Shopping is being done online before they come into your dealership, right? So there's a lot of things that we've got to prepare ourselves for, and I want to show you a bunch of those things today, okay? So here's 6 things that we're going to talk about today, okay? Customer interaction, faster and better communication, digital lead generation and how to get more leads, contactless payments and collecting more money faster, reputation management, how to manage your reviews, how to manage your reputation online, how to generate those reviews, and then how to conduct some virtual appointments, okay? Now, before you all take pictures of every slide in here, I'm going to give you a way to get these slides here at the end. So don't feel like you've got to scribble down every single note, take a picture of everything. I'll make sure you can get a copy of these slides once I'm done. Now, let's talk about customer interaction. And I'm going to bag on emails here for a second because that's my favorite thing to do, okay? So, how many people in here have a Hotmail account still? It's okay, this is a safe place. Hotmail, maybe an AOL online, anybody? So, we've been using email for a long time. And guess what? We probably are going to be using email forever. I'm getting emails all day, every day, and that will never change. But here's the truth about email. Average email open rates now are at 17% across the U.S. 6% response rates, okay? 49.7% of all email is now spam. I feel like that number is higher for me. I think I'm getting way more than 49.7% of my emails is spam. The average business professional receives over 120 business emails a day. So, point is, if you're using email as a major part of your business, I can tell you right now that it's becoming less and less and less and less and less effective every single day. And I'm sure a lot of you are seeing that. Now let's talk about answering the phone. And I think we can say this as simply as people do not answer the phone in this as frequently and as often as they used to, right? You guys are probably noticing that every single day. Well, there's a reason for that. The phone call app now on your smartphone is the 5th most used app on your phone, right? How silly is that? The social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all of those, they have passed what is actually being used the most, right? or what was actually made to be intended for, which is that phone. It's not even the main thing that it's being used for at this point, right? So text and social media has passed it up. Rising spam and robocalls. So over 3 billion robocalls are placed per month in the United States. So in 2018 it was 26.3 billion. It was over 32 billion in 2019. And I don't have the 2020 numbers yet. But the robocalls are happening every day. Is anybody, maybe an extended warranty upsell, power call? I got a call from the IRS a couple of weeks ago. As you know, is not actually the IRS. They will never call you. I also had somebody call me recently trying to sell me HGH over the phone if I wanted some human growth hormone. A lot of options that are happening from a robocall. So what's that trained us to do? Not answer the phone, right? And so because of that, when you're calling your customers, what are they doing? Declining it, they're sending it to voicemail, they're not answering your phone call. Who had one of those brick phones down there in the bottom corner? Yeah? How long did that battery last? It's like 20 minutes, right? You had service in a few places. here's what's interesting. 10% of adults are willing to answer calls from a toll-free number. 15% of adults are willing to answer calls from a different area code. So that tells you how bad it is. If you're calling somebody, they don't have your number in their phone, even if you're just in a different area code, less than 2 out of 10 people are going to pick up that call. Now, the number, if you're calling from the same area code, but they don't have that number saved in the phone, they will answer that call less than 30% of the time. Okay? So the frequency of people answering the phone is dropping more and more and more and more. The other thing that I think is interesting is we talk about phone calls, which, by the way, you're going to talk to people on the phone forever. That's never going away entirely, right? There's a time and a place where you have to be on the phone with people. But remember this, people spend up to 15 seconds responding to an email or a text, but the average phone call lasts more than 2 minutes. So if you're looking to create more efficiency in your dealership, especially when, I bet everybody in here, how many of you are understaffed right now? Okay, everybody, I would imagine 90% of you. So if you're looking to find efficiencies in your dealership and have your service and your parts team not on the phone all day, one of the fastest ways to fix that is use text messaging rather than a phone call for one specific reason. Not to mention the fact that people aren't answering the phone in the same way and you're playing phone tag all day. But the second part is the speed of the conversation. How often are you talking to, John and Bill and Susan, and all you're trying to tell them is their mower's ready to be picked up, and it turns into a 17-minute conversation about all sorts of different things. Now, sometimes there's still value to that, right? That personal connection is still important. But think about how much time you would save by just sending them a text saying, hey, Bill, your mower's ready, right? Something that simple can be saving several minutes a day. And we see up to an hour per person saved a day on those type of phone calls switched to a text message. Now, here's one other thing. Some of you probably even know this. In addition to people naturally not answering the phone when they see your phone number, the iPhone now actually has a setting that if a call comes in from a number that's not saved in the phone, it will automatically push to voicemail. So there are a lot of times where people don't even know that you've called until they see the voicemail pop up, and guess how often people listen to their voicemail now compared to what they did 20 years ago? Sometimes I'm going days before I go, oh, I got a voicemail. I had no idea, right? Your customers are doing much of the same. So let's talk about texting now that I've bagged on emails and phone calls enough, right? So 89% of consumers would prefer to interact with a business via text message rather than a phone call. 9 out of 10. I bet if you asked your customers today, when they came in, hey, let me give you some updates while we're working on your mower, would you rather me text you or call you with those updates? I can promise you right now that 9 out of 10 will tell you, text me. Maybe it's 8.5, maybe it's 8, depending on where you live and the age of your customer, but I promise you that number is 9 out of 10 nationwide, US, Canada, all together. 17% of emails are opened nationally. 98% of all text messages are opened and read. 95% of them are opened and read inside of 3 minutes. Okay? So a dramatically different scenario there than less than 30% of your calls getting answered and less than 20% of your emails being opened, right? 96% of consumers find phone calls to be disruptive as well during the day. Okay? So let's talk about this, because this is one of my favorite things that always happens here. Is some of you are going to say to me, well, my customers are old and they don't text. Right? Some of you thought it. If you were 55 and older, and don't take offense to the cane, okay, that was just for fun, okay? I know that if you're 55, it doesn't mean you're immediately using a walker. But if you're 55 and older, guess what? You're still sending almost 20 text messages per day, okay? So grandma and grandpa down the road, guess what? If they want to communicate with their grandkids now, and even their kids, they better have a cell phone and they better be texting. So guess what? My 71-year-old dad, when he walks into your dealership and you say, do you want me to call you or text you? He is going to tell you, I want you to text me. Now, you may have some of that older population not wanting to text as much as the 38-year-olds, right? But they are still going to want to text as much as you can way more than you would think, okay? And obviously, as that goes lower and lower and lower in age, the more and more text every single day. And I know that 18 to 24-year-old group drives you guys crazy. I totally understand. But guess what? They are your new buyers. And they are about to buy more and more and more and more. Because guess what? In a couple of years, they're going to be 30. And they're going to own their own giant piece of land. And they're going to be running their own business. And they're going to be the one buying from you. Are you ready to sell that person what you sell every single day? Right? So this is some interesting data that we ran here just recently. So these are our own customers, okay? So we've got 4,000 dealerships using our platform. And what this graph is showing you is the volume of messages per month per dealership over the last 2 years. And you can see right there the increase, not only 2 years ago were people wanting to text to communicate with these businesses, but they are wanting to text more and more and more. So this isn't total volume of text for us. This is the volume of text per dealership on a monthly basis. You can see when COVID hit, it got crazy, right? If you weren't texting at that point, if you were texting at that point, basically that communication, doubled or tripled during that time. But a 55% plus increase in text messages per dealer year over year over the last 2 years. So texting is becoming an even more powerful part of every business that's using it at this point. So this is another interesting piece. These are MMS messages, okay? So these are messages that have a file in them, so have a picture in them. And when pictures are sent back and forth, it usually indicates a service upsell or serious sales engagement. So you can see too, if you're using texting, the number of MMS messages, so media-based messages, have gone up by 80% plus year over year, and that usually shows that we're making money when that process is happening. Let me give you a couple of just quick examples of when you would use texting. How about saving time on simple updates and getting owner approval? So this is just something as simple as somebody's mower's in the shop. You find another problem that they didn't know existed when they brought it in. How much time do you spend calling that person to get them to say, yes, you can fix that too, right? Constantly calling, message. Then they don't answer. They call you back, but they call you back at 8:30 p.m. and you're not in the dealership, and so you don't answer the phone, so they leave you a message, and then you call them again. And it's this back and forth, and it takes 4 days to get them to approve one small simple fix. Well, guess what? What if you sent them a text that said, hey, we found this. Are you good if we move forward and fix it? It's going to be an additional $61.13. And guess what they do? Yes, bam. Because they read it inside of 3 minutes, right? 95% of all text messages are read inside of 3 minutes. They saw it, they looked at it, they said yes, they sent it back. Simple as that. You just saved days of time wasted, right? On something that simple. Sending images and videos, what if in that process too, you can take a picture of it, or you can do a quick walk around. Hey, this is what I found on your tractor. I wanted to let you know this is the change that we were looking to make. This is the problem that we found. Bam, let me send it to you. What if I'm trying to sell a new tractor and I can do a walk around and say, hey, this is the one that you were looking at. I wanted to shoot this over to you. It's red, and this is what it's here, and then okay, let me talk through the features, blah blah blah. Bam, I send you a text, and you just tried to start selling something over text message with a simple picture. What about an appointment reminder? How often do you guys schedule an appointment for somebody to come in and they show up on time? Think if you could remind them a day before, an hour before, 2 days before, a week before. How much better would that go, and how often would they show up in that scenario, right? Surveys and feedback. What if you wanted to know how your service department is performing? What if you wanted to double check on what somebody thinks about you? Send them a quick text and they can fill that out. What about sending somebody quick info stuff? Maps, hours of operation, easy, quick, simple things that sometimes are just hard to explain over the phone. They take a long time. They don't look at it when you send it to them via email. A lot of fast and simple things this way. What about selling? We talked about selling warranties, right? What if you did it yourself, but you did it via text? And let me give you an idea. Somebody buys something from you, and it's got a 12-month warranty on it. So something you could do is, what if you made sure that you can send them a text message almost at that 12-month mark that says, hey, your warranty's about to expire. So we built a feature in our platform where you can actually send a timed message. So on the day that they bought that tractor from you or that mower from you, you can go in and type in, hey, 11 months and 15 days from right now, send them a text message that asks if they want to buy an extended warranty on their phone. So simple things like that can save you a ton of time and make you a lot of extra money. Now let's talk about digital lead generation, okay? So that's texting 101. That's basic, just back and forth, simple communication, right? What if you're trying to generate leads directly through your website, okay? So let's talk about digital lead generation over the years. You put up a website, that was, 20 years ago, it was the big thing. Had to have it. We still have to have it. The way we capture that lead from somebody, though, is the thing that I want to talk about here. Normally on our websites, we put up our phone number and say, hey, call us. Or we put up a form where they fill in their name and their phone number so we can call them. Guess what? Your customer doesn't want to do either of those things. Right? Do you have an option for them to text your dealership directly through your website? And here's why. I'm looking around. I don't want to get sucked into a big, long conversation about what I want. I already know what I want to buy. I want to know if you've got it. Right? So if I can come onto your website and I can say, hey, I'm looking for this. Hey, do you have this? Hey, do you sell this brand? Hey, do you have this type of unit? Hey, do you have a used version of this? I'm way more inclined to be able to reach out to you. And we see, on average, that when you have a text option on your website, and I'll show you a few different ways that you can do it, that you will get 260% more inbound leads that way. Because people want to be able to reach out to you without getting fully sucked into the whole experience. That doesn't mean people aren't going to still do that. But you will get more inbound leads if you offer that as an option. And why not offer it everywhere, right? What if it's a simple thing on your website? What if you're listing inventory on Craigslist or other inventory sites? What if you allow them to be able to text you in addition to calling you? Across your different spots on your website, you've got inventory listed. We built a simple tool that you can actually get a text directly through your site. It looks like a chat bubble here, and when they click on it, it pops up. Usually can build out options like sales, service, parts, repairs, rentals, anything like that. They pick that and they send you a quick message, and it's as simple as that. My point is, if you will offer an option for them to text you through your website, I promise you right now, with 100% guarantee, that you will get more inbound leads that way. Without any doubt. People like to have that opportunity. Okay? So, I'm back to my graphs. Okay? 40% year-over-year increase in text leads. So, in addition, people were already sending in leads in March of 2019 for our customers that had our text widget on their website. But over the last 2 years, that continues to increase more and more and more and more. Why? Because the buying experience is becoming more digital, and the buyer is younger, right? So with each passing day, more and more people want to be able to text you to find out about what you have at your dealership. If presented with an option to call, fill out a contact us form, or text, that customer will text 75% of the time. Okay? So this is a powerful piece that we definitely want to have. Let's talk about contactless payments. So this is a new thing. Okay? 80% of consumers have used contactless payment options in the last 12 months. 74% of consumers have concerns about the cleanliness of cash. 64% of consumers had the same worries paying by card because of touching card readers, pens to sign a receipt, etc. Some of that may seem silly, but COVID changed a lot of people's internal wiring about what they want to touch and where they want public things. And hey, I'm handing you my card and you're touching it, and then you're handing me this weird, gross pen that 100 other people have used all day today, and I don't know if I like this, right? Now, we may be overthinking it, but that's the reality of the situation for a lot of us in our selling and our different situations that we're in. 57% of consumers advise that they would be more likely to do business with those who offered a contactless experience. Okay? So, what if you offered not only a contactless experience at the counter, but just in general, you had the ability to send a text message that somebody could click on and pay directly from their own phone from anywhere, anytime, right? That would open up the game for you in a lot of different ways. You can collect deposits on a new unit. So what if you're talking to somebody on the phone and they say, hey, I want to buy that zero-turn mower that you have, and instead of saying, hey, cool, why don't you come on down and we'll take care of you, you say, great, I just need a $250 deposit. I'm going to send you a text right now. Go ahead and click on the link. And there you go, Jimmy. Okay, go for it right there. Okay, great. That process just came through. That zero-turn mower was yours. Why don't you come down later today and we'll take care of the rest. Close that deal on the spot with a simple text message that they can click on and pay right over the phone, just like that. What if you have a service ticket or a special part order? I know a lot of times with special part orders, you don't want to place that order until you've got some money. Well, cool. What if you're on the phone with them and you say, hey, I'm going to send you a text. Go ahead and pay for that special part order right now. The second I get that money, I'll order that thing right here on the spot. Or some kind of a deposit for it. What if you're doing a service appointment that you're going to do a drop-off, right? You're going to go straight to their door and you're going to deliver their mower or their tractor. Or maybe you're going to their farm to do the service appointment. You're going to their house to do the service appointment. What are you normally doing at that point? Hey, call Stacy, maybe she'll take it over the phone. Or hey, come in the dealership and we'll collect payment. Or hey, we'll send you an invoice. What if your technician could just say, bam, here's a text message, click on the link and go ahead and pay it right there on the spot. You can collect faster, it's a lot easier, and guess what? Your customer loves that. Your customer likes being able to put their own card in on their phone rather than giving it over the phone, where you know that half the time that person is writing that down on a sticky note and putting it right there on the front desk where everybody can see what their card number is, etc., right? I think we've all done that a few times. This makes it faster and easier and safer for them. Increase over the phone sales, offer curbside pickup, get paid faster. Okay? Pretty cool. So this will tell you too, this is data directly from our customers. We launched our contactless payment, our text-to-pay option, where you can send a text to collect a payment about a year and a half ago, and in that time you can see how dramatically that's changed. So in those first couple of months compared to right now, each individual dealer on average is collecting way more than they were before. And it's because people like it. People like this as an option, and you guys will like it too. As you start using it, you're going to see people collecting will pay a lot faster, a lot simpler, more convenient process. Okay, we're flying through this. Let's talk about reviews now. Okay, so if I'm becoming a digital dealer, there's a lot of things that are critical, and reviews are a critical piece of this. 81% of consumers use reviews as the first step in choosing a dealership. 88% of consumers trust online reviews as much as a personal recommendation. So again, Google and Amazon have trained us, right? We don't buy stuff unless we know it's good. And I don't know it's good unless there are reviews. People are doing the same thing with your dealership, right? If I go into an area and I live in Wichita and I want to find a good dealer, what am I going to do? I'm going to go onto Google and I'm going to type in lawnmower dealer in Wichita, tractor dealer in Wichita, trailer dealer in Wichita. And then I'm going to look at the options and I'm going to pick the one that looks the best. That is how we make buying decisions. Sometimes I think we don't want to buy into that, right? We don't want the whims of, do people like us or not like us? And hey, well, they posted it online or they didn't post it online. Hey, we've been selling for years from personal recommendations and our friends refer us. Well, guess what? Those people refer you to somebody, and guess what that person goes and does now? They say, oh, cool, nice. Chuck's Lawnmowers, Wichita. Ooh, 3.8 stars. I ain't go with them. I don't care if my brother said they were good. We do that constantly, right? We trust online reviews as much as a personal recommendation now. Well, let's talk about this really quickly, because this is always one of the next questions that I get asked. Which review sites matter? There's so many, they're all over the place, and Yelp and Google and Facebook and Yellow Pages has reviews now, and which matters? If there's anything you learned from me today, here's one thing that is just etched in stone. Google and Facebook is all that matters, okay? And let me tell you the second thing. Do not waste your time with Yelp. They're the devil's company, owned and run. He is the CEO. I don't know his name actually, but you don't need to worry about Yelp, okay? Yelp is for restaurants, and that is the only thing you need to worry about, okay? When that rep calls you and says, hey, you need to buy my Yelp listing because you're going to get ranked better and it's going to be $25. Don't buy it. You don't need it. Because guess what? Nobody's really going there. And they're definitely not going there looking for a dealership. I promise. I promise, 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 promise. Do not waste your money there. In the end, Google is king, and Google is going to be king for reviews for a very, 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 very long time. Focus there, do a little of Facebook while you're at it, and don't worry about anything else, okay? Especially not Yelp, all right? So what are people looking for? They want quality, right? So they want to see close to 5 stars, and they want to see quantity, okay? 50 reviews is table stakes. Why? Because if they've got less than 50, they believe that your friends and family and neighbors are the only people that left those reviews. So you've got to get to 50 as a minimum, and we see that 150 is the mark where you start to see a very different conversion rate, okay? 150 is where the magic starts to happen. If you've got over 150, we start seeing a climb in the number of people that are coming to you and the conversion rates of the people coming to you as well. So this is just a simple practice here, right? I'm a trailer dealer. Somebody goes in and says, trailer dealers in Phoenix, Arizona, I just did this, right? I just typed it in. This is what I got. This is the Google Map Pack. I always get 3 at the top. Who am I picking? Deer Valley Trailer. Easy. Most reviews, best reviews, simple as that, right? That's where I'm going every single time. Your customers are doing the same thing. Your prospects in the area are doing the same thing. All right. Let's have some fun here for a second, okay? So this is a critical piece to managing your reviews. And that is that owner response matters, okay? People care about what you say when you get a review on Google or Facebook. Now, here is a critical piece to this. And you guys naturally don't believe in what I'm about to say. But I promise you that this is very important. The response that you leave on that review is not for the person that left the review. It is marketing for the hundreds and thousands of people that are going to look at that review later, okay? So let's practice this for a second, okay? So here's what 44.6% of consumers are more likely to visit a local business if the owner responds to negative online reviews. 75% of businesses don't respond to any of their reviews. That's a mistake, okay? So let's learn from it right now. So let's practice. This is some examples. I'll never go back here. I called and sat on hold for 10 minutes. And then when I finally came in, they told me to wait for my part, and I waited another 30 minutes. No one ever apologized. No one ever asked me if I needed anything. The staff was short with me and not helpful. Does everybody have one of those? And you probably got it, and you were like, what the heck? We weren't that bad. That's John Johnson. He's a total jerk. I hate him. He came in and made a stink in the dealership, and he's totally unreasonable. Right? So guess what happens? Now, this is not a real response, okay? This is not one that I copied and pasted. However, I have seen this response from dealerships many times. Don't do this, but enjoy yourself here for a second. Sorry you had a bad experience, but we're really busy and can't spend 20 minutes on every part order. You were almost 20 minutes late for your appointment, so we help the next person instead. Show up on time next time and this won't be a problem. Right? Yeah. Guess what happens when I search your dealership and I see that response to the review? I go, this guy's a dick.
No, the next time you show up on time.
Great point. So, this is what we want to say, right? We want to, hey, it was your fault. You're the one that caused this. It wasn't us. Because sometimes that's actually the truth. I promise that won't help you ever. Let's do one more. This place is way too expensive. They charge me $50 for this and $100 for that, and upcharge me $500 for another thing. I'm not going back. then go find another dealer down the street. Our prices are fair and you know it. Chuck and Rusty's shop is going to charge you the same prices. Go try them instead. I bet we'll see you back here anyway. I promise you, I have seen that response to a review 20 times on your Google pages. It is not helping you, okay? It is not helping you. Because that family that's going to search you in 30 days is going to see that, and that is going to be a big turnover. They want to know that when you have a problem, when you have somebody that is not a completely happy customer, that you're going to be a pro. So let's give some good responses here, okay? So that same one. What if instead you said, I'm sorry that you feel that we didn't meet your expectations with the service you received. We work every day to make sure that our prices are fair, competitive, and equal to the effort we put in. Please contact Mark, our head of service. His number is 888-888-8888. He can walk you through the charges, and we'd love to find a way to earn your business moving forward. Now, is that person going to actually take you up on that and call you and do all that? Almost never. But guess what? The new customer that's going to look in a couple of weeks is going to love that response. And they're going to go, you know what? I love that. Hey, they owned up to it. They want to make it right. They even told them to call them directly and they'll take care of it. They will love that kind of a response. Let's do another one. Same thing, the first one. What if instead you said, I'm so sorry that you had a negative experience with our dealership. This is not the way we normally do business. Please call this number and ask for Bob. I'm the owner and I'd like to make this up to you personally. Now you may not want to put your number out there and tell people to call you directly. But again, they are rarely going to actually do that. And I promise that if you handle it this way, it is the best marketing you can have down the road. Okay? Be smart about it. Be professional. Take a deep breath before you respond to those reviews. And I promise it'll work out better for you in the long run. So buyer behavior is changing, and here's why. So with reviews, your online listings, okay, your Google My Business page, this right here, your Facebook page, those are getting 500% more views than your website. Why is that? Because when they search you, they go and look at your reviews first. And if they like them, then they go to your website, not the other way around. So that's why your review pages are getting looked at far more than your actual website. So are you spending as much time, money, and energy on your reviews as you are on your website? Because if you're not, I promise that you're making a mistake. So let's talk about how to generate more reviews. So there's a lot of different ways to do this. If I'm asking people for reviews, so I guarantee you a lot of us have done this. Somebody comes in, they buy a new mower, they buy a tractor, they buy a trailer, and you say, awesome, hey, thanks so much for coming in, this was a great experience, would you mind leaving us a review? And they say, sure. And you say, awesome. When you get home, go ahead and leave that review. Right? Something like that? And guess what happens? They never do it. They never do it. The only people that go home and do it are the people that are pissed. Right? Because they want to stick it to you because your service guy was not as fast as they thought. But your happy customers would actually leave you a ton of reviews. They're totally comfortable doing it. They just get home and they forget, and then where do I go again? And what was the name of the dealership? How do I get there? Give them a way so that it's fast and easy. We built a really fast and easy way, and there's a couple of ways you can do this too. So come and talk to us, and we'll show you how to do this. But in our platform, what we built is, you can send them a text message that says whatever you want to. Hey, John, thanks so much for coming in. We appreciate your business. We're so excited for you and your family to use that new tractor. Go ahead and leave us a 5-star review. They click on that link. They can select between Google or Facebook, and then they can click on 5 stars and leave a review that fast. If you can do that on the spot, okay, so follow my same scripting. Hey, would you leave us a 5-star review because you had such a great experience here? They say yes, and you say, bam, I sent you a text message. Go ahead and click on that link, and you can leave that review right now. How much more likely are you to get it when they're right there, they're so excited, you're loading the mower on their flatbed, and they're pumped, and this is so great? They'll do it. They won't do it 100% of the time, but you're going to get 3, 4, 5 people out of 10 will literally do it right there on the spot. And your review volume is going to go way, 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 way higher. Your conversion goes up, you're going to sell more stuff, you're going to have more happy customers, I guarantee you. So let's talk about this final piece with reviews. You want to take control, so don't let your angry customers drive your online experience, okay? That's what you're doing. If you're just chaffing the wind, if you're not actively pushing to get people to leave you reviews. Take control of that experience by prompting them to actually leave that review. Build a repeatable process. So, who's asking? When are you asking? Who's sending the text message? Make sure you've got a simple, easy, repeatable process that will actually work. And responding to those reviews, it's something, and we'd love to talk to you guys. So, if you want a few tips on how to respond to those and how to take care of those the right way, we got a bunch of templates and things that we can help you with. Do that the right way and respond to everything. Let's talk lastly about virtual appointments. So, the search impressions for web and video calling software increased by 500% in the first 4 months of the COVID-19 pandemic. 60% of consumers participated in video meetings more in 2020 than 2019. So your buyers, a lot of them have literally been sitting in front of their computers and their phones for 1.5 years on video calls. Now that drives some of us crazy, but it also has made us more comfortable doing that. It's a pretty interesting change that has occurred. So, you've got a lot of customers that are going to call you or text you or reach out to you, and they're interested in doing something. They're interested in buying something. And our first reaction is normally to say, hey, when can you come in? And that's not going to stop. Like, you still need people to come to your dealership. But what if somebody reached out to you and said, hey, I'm looking for this type of a mower or this type of a tractor? And you said, yeah, we've got it on the lot. What are you doing right now? And they said, oh, well, I'm sitting here at my house. Cool. I'm going to send you a text message. Click on the link, and we can have a quick video call, and I'll show you what we have on the lot. And you could walk out there and say, hey, here's what I've got. Here's the inventory I have. I've got this one. It's in yellow. I've got this in red. This one has this size. And you follow exactly what Bob just taught everybody an hour ago and do that entire process virtually. I can guarantee you right now, if you offer that, you will sell more stuff. And it will also open you up with a chance to sell more people that don't live within 10 miles of you. So if you've got great reviews and you've got a good online presence, you're going to start expanding the people that are seen and coming in contact with your dealership. But it's harder for them to just, oh, no problem, I'll drive 35 minutes or 40 minutes to come and see you. Well, what if you could pop that up and have a quick video conference call and say, hey, let me show you, here's what it is, let me walk you through the details. You'll sell stuff that way, I guarantee it. I was at the Kubota annual meeting 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago. And I had a sales guy in a dealership come up to me and he said, you made me $250,000 last week. And I went, where's my cut? And he did. He said, guy called in and he said, hey, no problem. Let me walk you through what we have. He showed him what he had a couple of used ones that fit with what this person was looking for. Did a full walk around. Guy said, great, let's do it. He sent him the text. They paid the down payment over the phone, and it was done. Simple as that. So he came in and, a day or two later, picked it up, drove off. $250,000 tractor is a combine tractor of some sort. It's amazing. So people will want to do that. And again, the younger your buyer is, the more likely they are to want to do something like that, right? So remember, don't think about your 72-year-old that's been buying from you for 5 years, or 10 years, or 20 years. Think about the 28-year-old that's going to be buying all of your stuff in the next 10 years, okay? How are you catering to them? How are you making sure that they can buy from you? Same goes for a service appointment, right? So what if I'm talking to somebody on the phone and I'm trying to explain to them the problem that we're trying to fix, and we just can't make it work. It's not, hey, can you come down here? What if instead you said, hey, I'm going to send you a text, click on the link, I'm going to show you exactly what's going on. Hey, we found this wire stripped, this got cut, this got bent, this got moved. You good if we fix this? And they go, oh, I can see it right here. Yeah, absolutely. Think about how fast and easy that is and how much time you're going to save in that scenario, right? Or what if they're out in the field and they're calling you trying to explain the other way? Hey, it just broke down. Oh, what's going on? I can't figure it out. Hey, let me send you a link. Just show me right now. And you could be on there. Hey, oh, okay, great. Yep, I know exactly what you're saying. Yep, okay. Here, plug that in here, unplug that there. Oh, hey, I know exactly what part you need. I'm going to send somebody out to you right now, right? There's so many different scenarios that you can be using this for that are just going to create a better customer experience for you and are going to help you make a lot more money. So let's review really quickly. Text messaging is a powerful tool to be using in your dealership. And I promise if you're not using it right now, it's hurting your dealership today, and it's really going to hurt your dealership in a couple of years. Because it is the way that people want to communicate. 9 out of 10 consumers would prefer to interact with a business via text than a phone call. Your dentist has been texting you for 10 years, right? Why are you not texting with your customers? Okay? It's a simple, easy thing. And, you know, in addition to that, there's a lot of cool tools out there. We happen to be one of them that'll make it faster and easier than doing it on your personal cell phone when somebody's going to be texting you all hours of the day and night. Digital lead generation, you're going to get more leads if you offer texting as an option to capture those leads. Contactless payments, more and more people are going to want that. And I bet that in the next 10 years, we're not even going to be carrying our cards around. It's going to be on our phone. You know, we're going to enter everything ourselves. We're not going to be walking around handing cards over and sliding them into devices like we are today. Take care of your reviews, respond to those reviews, be smart, and figure out ways to generate those reviews as well, and then have an option for virtual appointments. I promise, if you're doing all of these things that all have a baseline in text messaging, you're going to be a lot more successful in your dealership. You're going to save a ton of time. You're going to generate way more leads. You're going to have a better reputation, so you're going to be able to convert more at a higher rate. You're going to get more eyeballs on your stuff, I promise. And if you're offering more convenient things like virtual appointments, you're going to get more people to buy, and they're going to be happier customers in the process. Now, let's have some fun here for a second. Get your cell phones out. I want to give you a live demonstration of Kenect. If you want a copy of my slides that I just went through, I will send them to you today in a text. I can also email them to you if you want that as well. But send a text to 385-474-8180. Mention my name so my team knows where these are all coming from and when they get 100 text messages here in the next few seconds. Include your name and your dealership name so I know who I'm talking to. And I will send you my slides right here that we went through. Come see us. We're out in one of the booths out there. Cameron, do you remember the number? 494. Okay? So come and find us. We'd love to talk to you guys and share a few things about what we do and how our platform is helping dealerships. Because we work with so many dealerships, we feel your pain. We know what you guys are dealing with. We're talking to dealers all day, every day. We know how to help you out, and we promise we'll take great care of you. So come find us. Cameron and Tyler are standing there in the back too if you've got any questions. We'd love to help you out and take care of you. Great to see you. Thanks for coming here early this morning, and we hope to talk to you over the next couple of days. Thanks, everybody.